Imagine that the very qualities that make you insightful, creative, and uniquely gifted are also the ones that leave you feeling disconnected from the world around you. History shows us this pattern again and again. Those who dared to think differently, who saw deeper into life than their peers, were the very people who changed the course of humanity. So here's the question we're exploring today. Could your intelligence, your depth, or your ability to see truths others ignore be both a gift? And the reason you sometimes feel out of place in society? Welcome to today's journey. We're going to uncover the struggles, the challenges, and the extraordinary potential of those who think beyond the ordinary. By the end, we'll reach one final revelation that might completely transform how you see yourself and your place in this world. Part 1. History's misunderstood thinkers throughout history. Society has struggled to understand those who see beyond its surface. Socrates was condemned for asking too many questions. Galileo was placed under house arrest for discoveries that challenged people's existing beliefs. Nietzsche, one of the most influential philosophers of modern times, lived much of his life misunderstood and in isolation. Why does this happen? Because intelligence, true intelligence, is rarely convenient. It disrupts, it challenges, it exposes illusions that others would rather leave unchallenged. Part 2. The burden of awareness. Think about your own life. Have you ever felt your conversations go deeper than most people can handle? Have you been frustrated by shallow or repetitive small talk? Do you notice patterns, hypocrisies, or hidden truths that others ignore? Psychologists call this the burden of awareness. Carl Jung once said, "Loneliness does not come from being alone, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you." Research on gifted individuals shows that their greatest struggles aren't intellectual, but social and emotional. When you see too much, life can feel too heavy. You might become more sensitive to injustice, impatient with inefficiency, or restless in environments where conformity is rewarded over originality, and society. It often labels you as difficult, arrogant, or antisocial, not because you're wrong, but because you're different. Part 3. Intelligence and sensitivity. Gifted individuals often don't just think differently. They feel differently too. Psychologist Kazimierz Dabrowski studied what he called overexcitabilities, heightened sensitivities of mind and emotion found in intelligent people. Sounds may feel louder, emotions more overwhelming, injustice more painful. It's not weakness, it's heightened perception. Yet, society rarely celebrates this intensity. Instead, it rewards predictability and efficiency. That's why many intelligent and sensitive people feel exhausted by shallow environments, classrooms, offices, meetings, places that discourage originality. Carl Rogers once wrote, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." Maybe your struggle isn't about fixing yourself to fit society. Maybe it's about accepting that you were never meant to fit in. Part 4. The emotional cost and gift of intelligence. Being too smart for society comes with emotional costs. Isolation, misunderstanding, frustration, sometimes even despair. But it also comes with potential. Dostoevsky once wrote, "It takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently." And that something more is courage. Courage to stay true to yourself when the world pushes you to conform. Courage to live differently, to embody your vision even when it feels lonely. History proves that the same people who felt alienated, Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, became the very ones who redefined what humanity could achieve. So, maybe your sense of disconnection isn't a curse. Maybe it's an invitation to carve a new path. Part 5. The final revelation. Here's the truth. Society is not designed for outliers. It thrives on order, predictability, and the average. But every leap forward, every revolution in thought, art, or science, began with someone who didn't fit in. If you feel too smart for society, maybe it is because you are already living in the vision of a world that doesn't yet exist. And here lies the revelation. Intelligence is not just about knowledge. It's about responsibility. If you use your awareness to withdraw, it becomes a burden. But if you use it to create, to inspire, to guide, it becomes a gift. Albert Camus wrote, "The purpose of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Your task isn't to abandon society, and it isn't to fully blend in either. Your task is to become a bridge, 1 foot in the world as it is, and 1 foot in the world as it could be. So the next time you feel out of place, don't ask, 'Why don't I belong here?' Ask, instead, 'What truth am I carrying that this place doesn't yet understand?' You are not too smart for society. You are exactly as you need to be, to play the role only you can play. Your intelligence is not a burden to carry. It's a torch to hold high. The question now is, how will you use it to light the way forward? If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the Mind Sparks. Join a community of thinkers, seekers, and creators who dare to live differently. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, have you ever felt too smart for society? And how are you learning to turn that struggle into strength? Because together, we're not just questioning society. We're shaping the future.